not fiction. But I thought maybe it would count anyway, just for the fun of it. As I told you guys earlier, I used to work on war crimes investigations for the International Criminal Tribunal, former Republic of Yugoslavia. You try saying that 3 times after you've had a couple of beers. And believe me, they have good beer over there. It's Turkish beer. It's wonderful. A lot of what we were doing was digging people up, bringing them in, doing an autopsy, looking for the forensic evidence that said this was a war crime. It's the kind of thing where it's not a whodunit, because you know whodunit. It's who do they do it to, and why, and how. So, you know, a lot of gross aspects. The setting is that we had this, used to be an air conditioning plant, and we had it set up with 4 morgue tables with drains that didn't always work very well. Sometimes came loose. We don't even want to talk about Yugoslavian plumbing. It's a topic of horror all by itself. Then we had 4 tables where you could lay out the bones after you got rid of the rest of the body, because these folks had mostly been in the grave by about 1.5 years by then. So they're mummies, or they're bones, or they're adipocere. And if you know what that is, it's greasy, gray, grimy, go forget stuff. So it's kind of the job that requires a little bit of tolerance for odors and for wildlife and for various things that just kind of go squits and ooze. But we had this one problem because we had one member of the staff who was a graduate student. They had anthropologists there working on the bones, and they had a squad of interns who were all grad students. Now, normally it's fun to pick on grad students anyway, right? It's a sport. It should be recognized in the Olympics. But we had this one who was not Jewish, but if you know the stereotype of the Jewish princess, this was her. She was also a living case of Munchausen syndrome. I swear to God, at one point she told us that she needed breast implants because she used to be a parachuting instructor, and she had flattened hers in rescuing her student who was strapped to her chair. Shoot, so she had to pull both of hers to stop both of her hitting the ground too hard, and she mashed her chest too flat and never recovered. She's about this high compared to me in the first place, about 92 pounds total. So, you know, you lose your sense of tolerance for people like that, especially if they get prissy about touching the things that everybody else has to do. And she didn't want to handle the bones and the grunge and all the other stuff. And we were tired of the mouth, because the mouth was always open. Rolling, 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 rolling. Usually complaints, especially about the smell. I'm sorry, dead guys stink. That's just the way it goes. So we took to trying to get rid of her. I'm afraid we were kind of gross. You know, if somebody had splooge on a finger, and if you were standing close enough and you could angle something, and it would hurt. Anything, any spurge on her, and she was off to the bathroom to scrub it 6 times, which was reasonable. I mean, that stuff is infectious. You know, we had to be very careful with it. We were just so fed up with this gal that we couldn't help ourselves. And, you know, some things just kind of happen naturally. I don't know if you've ever heard of bone skippers. You know, we run across maggots all the time with dead guys. Sometimes they're like 50–60% dead guys. Maggots by the time we find them.
More.
Well, when I was in Yugoslavia, I discovered a whole brand new kind of maggot that I had never heard of before. And I discovered it because this girl found it first. She happened to be standing next to the corpse where they appeared. They are a maggot, but they're a little Mexican jumping bean maggot. They're half the width, and they're skinny, and they're wiry little mothers. And they pop up into the air 2 to 3 feet at a time. And you can't figure out what they are because they do it so fast, it's like little bits of popcorn. Just at random, out of nowhere. So, of course, this gal had to be standing there with her mouth wide open.